What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Dwarves game, this time with Celestial Tiger. And Celestial Tiger and Dwarves is not a combination that you too often see, but when you've got a Fanny and a Crafty in your opening shop, it definitely pushes you in that direction a little bit. I really like Fanny. I think that it is one of the best dwarves that you can pick up on, or even just one of the best units that you can pick up while you're on level 2. And then Crafty does have some synergies because we're going to be trying to grab some treasures, which means that it's going to get the buff a little bit easier than it might on some other units, or on some other heroes. So we'll pick up the Fanny and then we will roll. This turn is pretty straightforward and this shop has got nothing for us, so we will not be locking it. Then we're up against the Fates, and we actually get a loss against the Fates, so good for them. I guess they got some extra cash somehow, maybe played against a Sharebear? No, I don't know how they got the extra cash, because they didn't play a Forbidden Fruit. They did a Shrivel on turn 1. That's what they must have done. Okay, so we actually had two really interesting options there in that shop a second ago that I'll talk about. We could have sold the Crafty, purchased the Forbidden Fruit, and then bought 2 Sherwood Sure Shots because there was a pair of Sherwood Sure Shots there. We also could have picked up one, locked the shop, or we could have just done what we did and purchased the Forbidden Fruit and then rolled and tried to find something better. And this is going to wind up being better for us. Will probably potentially save us some damage in the long run, but I do like eggs when you're playing a Celestial Tiger. That's something a little bit more tiger related. Unfortunately, we are going to be losing to an 8/8 egg here, so we are going to be taking some damage regardless, unfortunately, and we lose our egg, so pretty big punish from that. There's another pair as an option in that shop, the Shadow Assassins. But I decide to just roll, see if we can find Dwarves, Princess White, something a little bit better to work with that works with what we already got going on. And we find a Brave Princess, so that is pretty good. We're up against Sad Dracula, so you have to decide, do you want to play 2 4/4s and let one get eaten, or play a 6/6 in the front line and hope that that is big enough that Sad Drac can't eat it. Now, you could wind up fielding a 6/6 and then they just snipe that. They just snipe that with a big enough Sherwood Sure Shot or something, and then you feel pretty sad about what you've done. And that's what we are going to see here. So I wish that I had done that slightly differently and played 2 4/4s in the front line, but it's so tough to know what they are going to have. So an unfortunate miscalculation, but then we get to play some pretty sweet cards here. We get to pick up 2 chickens and a Crafty, so now we've got 3 pairs. So things are looking up. We should be scoring a treasure. This is fine. We should be scoring a treasure pretty soon. Does look like we will probably be losing decently hard to this Potion Master, but we did get a Slay on the Brave Princess, and we do have 3 different pairs, so now we get to start cashing in on some treasures. So we'll pick up the chicken. Don't love any of these things. I do feel like I kind of need to take a treasure, though, so I take Fountain of Youth. I actually roll past the Princess White. Kind of interesting, not sure what inspired that. If I just didn't want it for some reason, will I want it now? That is the question. I think I will. It looks like I'm gearing up to sell the chicken, purchase the white, and then purchase the doubly. I really can't tell you why I didn't purchase it the first time. Maybe I didn't see it. Or maybe something just kind of got in the way, or like I wanted to see if I could find another treasure this turn, because I think that's what it is, and that's why I take like the fountain as well. We're at 18, And I think the case was just that I wanted to stay at 18 for as long as I could and stop taking some damage immediately. And for that reason, just wanted to see if I could find a crafty or a fanny out there in the wilderness. So we're going to find a Princess White and a doubly, which I think does add a decent amount of power to the board. Going to get interrupted slightly by the baby dragon, but still looking decently strong here, and looking strong enough that we are going to be able to slay. So that is great as well. And we will take 5 more damage down to 13, but we've got a tier 3 treasure coming for us now. Eye of Ares is a great one. On Celestial Tiger, Eye of Ares basically means you get to tie the rest of your fights. So if we are just looking to stay now at 13, this seems really good. I would have loved to potentially pick up the Ring of... Is it just called Ring of Health? There's no way it's called Ring of Health. I'm blanking on the name right now, sorry. Secret Stash made me blank on the name because I forgot Secret Stash's name a little bit ago. Ring of... It must just be called Ring of Health, I'm not sure. But we had the option to take double Ring of Meteors with a crafty and a Nutcracker in the shop, which is obviously really interesting and worth considering, but I'm just going to go for the greedy. I feel like I need to take the Secret Stash just in case I wind up losing. Like, most likely we tie all of our battles from now on. However, we potentially lose battles to token makers. If somebody has like a Princess Peep, it summons a bunch of 10 ones and they don't have to do anything to afford that. So that can be really scary. Want to avoid that, and just going to see how far I can get along with the white. Don't really want to hang on to the fountain for too long either, but it does look like this combat's going to be good. We're going to do exactly what Eye of Ares intends to do, and that is trade. Just push it down the road. This does open you up into strategies like Pumpkin if we're able to open up a sarcophagus from the Princess White or from one of our other treasures. Then we will definitely look into playing a sarcophagus. We'll definitely look into playing like a pumpkin comp, and that could be really strong. Have to decide if I want an 18-10, and I remember this because I think I make the wrong move after I decide to sell the Brave Princess. I don't hate it because we can triple the crafty, we can no longer do anything with the Brave Princess, but 10 health and 8 health are the exact same because everything has 10 attack. So I think that was potentially a slight mistake if my goal is to just always be playing the best board, but maybe we can get away with playing just a slightly worse board to less health. Even if we do lose a combat, we do gain 6 coin, so we can still do something with that. And we'll see what that is, I suppose. So yeah, Eye of Ares on Celestial Tiger. It's one of the reasons that I think Celestial Tiger is so good, just because you potentially have access to this treasure that just says, okay, I'm going to tie a bunch of games and now I get to dirtle around a little bit and figure out some other stuff. We kind of don't want to tie or win. We don't want to tie. We've got the Secret Stash if we lose, and we've got the Spinning Gold if we win. So either way here, I'm excited if we don't tie. We're going to wind up losing, and we lose our Secret Stash, which is great. We take 5 damage, but we gained 6. So we actually gained a health there. Princess Peep I knew was going to be something that could cause us to lose some combats, and now we can potentially build some more healths. We can build some more treasures, and we can also build our lead by taking this Wish Upon a Star. I'm probably not going to win this turn, but we had so much extra gold that I think that is a good place to put it. I'm going to pick up the Fanny connecting on the Princess White, and that gives us a treasure map. So if you don't already know how treasure map works on Tiger, is as long as you get a treasure that is 3 or higher, which means we can triple up these doublies or these greedies, we will get a tier 7 treasure. So that's really fantastic. It looks like I'm going to be selling out of my crafties to pick up the angry. Part of the reason for that is going to be the fact that we no longer want to triple crafty. So just picking up the angry here, thinking maybe against the, one of the lower placed people in this lobby, that could be enough to win, give us an extra experience, but we don't really need the win. It's not super important. It does look like we will probably just lose because my opponent has some token generators, but the doubly is going to be able to get us a little bit of equity there. Going to be tough to get through this Tweedle, though. So we take 7, and now we just want to find a triple of crafty or doubly, find a tier 7 treasure that will hopefully get us out of this mess. And potentially might want to consider playing something like, okay, there we go. We'll take it. We get a tier 8 treasure from this, but that'll be a tier 7 treasure. Black Prism and Mirror Mirror are 2 of the strongest tier 7 treasures. Neither, I mean, the Mirror Mirror does impact the board here a little bit, but I don't think it does enough with dwarves, and I think we're stuck on dwarves at this point. So I go for a Holy Grail, and this is arguably, very early for a Holy Grail. I do think I probably have to pick up this Fanny as well, because we are going to, and this is a mistake, I should have put the greedy in place before I picked up this Runestones, because now basically if I want this Runestones, I've got to toss the Fountain of Youth, which does mean that we're losing some stats. I forget what I was just saying, but yeah, it is. It's pretty likely that we'll tie still. I think that's kind of just what I'm banking on here. Speaking of banking, probably don't really need this greedy, but this looks good. This looks good. It doesn't look like my opponent has... I mean, they've got 1 ranged unit, and then they've got this donkey, so we're actually just going to be able to win this combat against somebody that's, like, decently high on the leaderboard, and now we're in a Holy Grail turn. So now let's talk about what I actually want to do with this Holy Grail. Was getting distracted a little bit, but I thought the Holy Grail would be good here for multiple reasons. Now that we have this Runestones, we can grab another tier 7 treasure pretty easily. I think about potentially trying to pivot off of the comp, but the other thing that I really want with this Holy Grail turn is any XP. If we hit any XP, then suddenly we're Holy Grailing on tier 6. Pick up the Angry, which lets me get a tier 7 treasure. I pick up the Magic Sword after looking at these for a second. Gonna debate about the Fairy Queen's Wand, but then switch to the Magic Sword at the very last second, because I do think that Magic Sword can work very well if we find ourselves a Tweedledee. So going to pick that up, and then I am going to sell out to start playing the Bossy. I then immediately find the Wish Upon a Star, so now I can look for a Lordy now that we are tier 6, and when I find this pair of Green Knights, I settle on that as well. But then I find a Lordy, so going to want to grab that quickly too, and I do think that all of a sudden we have made our board considerably better. Mainly just Magic Sword with Tweedledee is really good, but we do find 1 more Lordy before we have to leave, or before we're done shopping, and I think we did a pretty decent job with this Holy Grail. We were able to get a tier 7 treasure, we were able to get 2 6-cost units that we were looking for, and we were able to give ourselves a board that is actually going to be able to just start winning combats in pretty commanding fashion. We won't quite have a Holy Grail on future turns, but we are getting a ton of gold out of this Greedy. So let's see, I think we're at like 20 gold this turn. Did Greedy get attacked 4 times or 3? Let's see. Plus we get the extra XP. Okay, 18. 18 gold for the turn. Not too shabby. We'll be able to pick up a Tweedledee here, which is pretty nice, and Dwarven Forge gotta do it. So that is going to give us another tier 6 treasure. And let's just take the Ark. Pandora's Box could be cool. It could be cute to have a third level 7 treasure, but we've already found the good ones, at least for dwarves concerned. Eye of Ares seems fine at this point. We don't really need, or it seems fine to toss the Eye of Ares. Having our whole team get plus 12 rather than both teams get plus 10 seems like a pretty sweet upgrade. Could take Lancelot to grab a free tier 5 treasure, but up against Potion Master, I don't think that's what we want. So just going to roll a little bit, going to consider this Shrivel just because Potion Master is the lobby leader and we do want to put some respect on the name, and this is what we're going to be rolling with. But now Tweedledee is summoning it gives 200 health to the Tweedledee that gets summoned, and ultimately winds up being pretty powerful. Actually, even stronger than that, because the Lordy is going to buff it up. We shrivel their Echo Wood. Yeah, 500 attack means that it's going to, or not 500, 150 attack means that it's going to respawn with 300 toughness, potentially even more with the Angry, giving it some bonuses, or potentially even less with the fact that it's not even going to die because we are way too strong for this Potion Master. So there we go, 23 damage, not a single unit lost against the lobby leader. Pretty good stuff. We'll pick up a Bossy as well, and then we can switch to Staff of the Old Toad. What would we toss here, though? I guess we would toss the Dwarven Forge. I don't really want to toss the Ark. It's tough, but tossing the... You could toss the Ark because we will potentially... then we could just cut the Fanny. It gives you a little bit more flexibility to play a board that is just Lordies eventually. But we are going to throw in the Bossy and now try to just roll for more Lordies and roll for more Echo Woods. Those are the prime things that we're rolling for. I'm slightly considering Greedy and definitely going to pick up Tweedle. At least I think I do. Yeah, okay. I do pick up Tweedle here, go for a free roll, look for another 6. Bossy could be fine. All of these things also seem a little bit awkward now that we have tossed the Dwarven Forge, and then obviously considering Hercules there just to put in the Magic Sword slot and grab another tier 6 treasure, but I don't think that's what we wanted to do either, with the fact that we've got 7 health only. We do find a Lordy right at the very end, and I do some quick maths and realize that I can sell down for it, selling out of my Tweedles and picking up that Lordy. So we're looking pretty good here now. The only way that we really improve this board while keeping the Arc bonus is by finding an Echo Wood and replacing our Greedy with that Echo Wood. But while we are so strong against all of our competitors, these Greedies are just farming our opponents and getting us a lot of extra cash to be able to run the table and hopefully win this game. So looking good here again on this one. Gonna not have too big of a problem taking out the Hippocampus. We will lose our Bossy, so that is a slight higher amount of damage that we will be taking. And there you can see we summon a 350 health Tweedledum. Pretty sweet stuff there. What are we rolling for? Of course, that is going to be more Lordies and Echo Woods. So we pick up a Lordy pretty quickly into this shop. I guess I am debating the Fog, and then I'm also debating how we get this Lordy into the combat. We already have a 4 in the Tweedle, so it does seem like we can cut the Greedy. And then when we find the Echo Wood, it seems like we should potentially be playing this Lordy too. We have to consider how many stats the Arc gives us and Lordy gives us 6 times 2, which is 12 as well. So it's really close, but I think that it's slightly more stats to play either the Fanny or the Bossy, but it is more stats on Echo Wood to play the Lordy. So I was just kind of doing this math here. I think that it is really close, but I'm also really close to just finding another Lordy, which would be really sweet, and then we don't have to worry about ruining the arc. We can find the Lordy, cut the staff for another tier 6 treasure, which would ideally be a Phoenix Feather for the Echo Wood, and then we can do sweet stuff with that. Now, if we find another Echo Wood, that is when we would no longer care about the arc. We would just cut the Fanny and the Bossy and then play Lordy and Echo Wood in those slots. Crocbeat is cute with Magic Sword, but then you lose the bonuses from the Lordies and such, and then we find a Knighthood. And now we've got a decision to make. Do we want to sell 2 things and play this Knighthood? And I definitely think that we do, with 10 gold left. The question is, are we Knighthooding the Echo Wood or are we Knighthooding the Lordy, and what 2 things are we selling? And I think I make a mistake here. I think the correct play is to just Knighthood. Well, I don't even know what I should be Knighthooding, but I think I should be selling the Fanny. I think that I should be selling the Fanny and then probably just giving up on the arc. We've still got the Bossy, and then probably I want to Knighthood. I haven't been paying enough attention to know what my opponents were playing, but I wind up selling out of the Lordy, and then I believe I go for the Knighthood on the Echo Wood, which is fine if your opponents aren't playing like scammy stuff. If they are playing scammy stuff, then you probably want to put it on the Lordy just to kind of spread your stats out, and that's kind of what this play is. It's kind of me spreading my stats out, but then also obviously having an absolutely huge Echo Wood. If that Pigomorph had landed on the Echo Wood, then I could have potentially looked like a fool this game, and of course they're still continuing to try to scam, but once those 2 copycats fail to scam the Echo Wood, that's basically all she wrote. I mean, I guess the monster book could do it too, but we are going to be able to kill the big bad wolf here. Now we're probably in the finals against Pied Piper. Pied Piper probably, no, Potion Master beats the Pied Piper. Okay, maybe I had, oh yeah, I had predicted that. I'm just forgetting now in the commentary, but at the time I did think that we'd be playing up against the Pied Piper with their Echo Wood that we shriveled, keeping them at 1 health there. So that is the other reason to upgrade the Echo Wood, is to deny the Pied Piper the ability to find Echo Woods, and I believe that is a pretty strong reason as to why I did so. By upgrading the Echo Wood, we take 2 Echo Woods out of the shop pool, which is just going to make it harder for the Potion Master to be able to find them. So let's see if we are able to come out on top here. I'm not going to wind up making any changes, though. Like I said, I do think putting the Lordy in definitely has some benefits, and I probably should have abandoned the arc, but let's see what we got. We're going to be fine against the Doom Breath. Don't care about that. It's just going to be an Echo Wood battle. My opponent with 2 upgraded Bear Stains and me with an upgraded Tweedle that can still pump up the Echo Wood. Any surviving unit is going to be a kill for me to them, and any surviving unit for them... Oh yeah, my Echo Wood's bigger. Okay, nice. That's really all it took, was the Tweedledee dying before our Echo Woods connected with each other. That's going to give us a win. Just because I wasn't looking, let me go back and take a look at this shop. So if either player has one unit survive, they win, is all I was going to say. And that's pretty big that our Echowood gets to attack first, the Tweedledee dies, and then Echowood goes up to 1,000. And that is basically all she wrote. Their Echowood now has no shot against ours. They don't have a Phoenix Feather or anything, and that's going to be enough to take out the Potion Master. So pretty sweet game. It was Dwarves, but we had 2 Tier 7 treasures, including almost getting another one if we wanted that Pandora's box. But Magic Sword, really, really good with Tweedledee, especially an upgraded Tweedledee. And then really thought this was a fun game. Getting to make use of Holy Grail on 5.2, I don't think is something that you see very often. But when I took it, I was calculating the fact that, okay, it'll be on 5.2, all that we need to do is roll for some XP, and then we can use this like a level 6 Holy Grail and really get a lot of value out of that. So that was pretty sweet as well, and that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.